Hi everyone, Steve Brown here, and today we're going to look at the changes that Google has made to Google Places and to Google+. As many of you know, whenever you do a search on Google, Google actually looks at your computer or your mobile device's IP address so they can bring back some geo-targeted results that are available. For instance, if I search for the keyword plumber, Google will know where my computer is and it will bring back targeted results for the Swansea area because it knows I'm located in Swansea. So it brings back here, you can see the Google map up in the top corner. If you scroll down a bit, you'll then see the pack of 7, the Google Places, and you can see these are all Swansea addresses with all their contact detail, contact information, contact details. Because we didn't put a geo-targeted keyword, because I didn't put plumber Swansea or Swansea plumber into the search box, then what you would notice if you went through these results is you would find that some of the other results wouldn't necessarily be targeted just for the Swansea area. In fact, you can see this one is Hornchurch in Essex, which is a good 150 miles away. So by not putting a geo-target in here, by just putting the word plumber, Google still knows where I am and still brings me back a set of results that tries to help me based on where I'm actually physically located at this moment in time. Now, we've seen how important Google Places has become for local businesses and why we talk about fully optimizing, this Google Places listing. Because it is crucial you work your way into that pack of 7 on page 1 of Google. If I went to have a look now, you'd probably find there's about 340 businesses competing to be in this top 7. And obviously you need to be in this top 7 if you want your business to be found. And that's why we've always optimized our Google Places. And in the meantime, while Google's been doing its thing, Facebook has been growing and growing, and Google can see its revenues disappearing as Facebook becomes more popular. Because what you need to remember is that these two giants are competing for advertising revenue. Google makes its money from Google AdWords. These AdWords that we see down the side and at the top. And Facebook, and similar, Facebook makes its money from advertising, which you see down the right hand side of the Facebook page. And the biggest difference between these two giants is the actual time the consumer's online. Just think of your own online habits. If you were on Google searching for information, you're actively seeking something, so you type in, like we have done here, the keyword plumber, and up comes the local search results, and you may have a look at the listings, or you just make a phone call and the job's done. You're not actually on there very long. You could be looking for goods, and you could type in mobile phone, and up comes a set of search results with the Google AdWords at the top and the right hand side of the page. And if you click on anything, it doesn't matter what you click on, and if as the consumer, you click on one of these sets of results and you go off to have a look at, say, City Plumbing, the moment you have done that, Google has now lost its chance to actually sell you any advertising because you're now off onto another part of the internet. So Google doesn't actually get paid. Google is only going to receive revenue when you click on one of the Google AdWords that we've seen here down the side or at the top. So these AdWords may only appear for a few seconds before you decide to click on one of the search results and you disappear off onto into the web somewhere. Now take Facebook. Facebook is a totally different model. The reason consumers use Facebook is to communicate, to be social, to be interactive. They are not looking for anything in particular when they're online. They're actually only there to socialise, to talk with friends and family and share things. However, the big difference is they are online a long time, and the adverts which are showing on the right hand side are continuously displayed for the length of time that they're on Facebook. And if the advert is done correctly, you can eventually interrupt their conversation, their train of thought, and you might get their curiosity gets them to click on that ad. So the ads show up that much longer. And they're being, at this moment in time, they're being very successful. So Facebook has started taking some of Google's advertising revenue, so Google has to fight back. And Google's answer was to create its own social platform called Google+, which it launched in June 2011. And believe it or not, this is Google's third, I think it's its fourth attempt at social media, and it really needs this one to work. So basically, as far as Google's concerned, the gloves are off. When Google first launched Google+, you could only have a personal account, a personal page. The same way as when Facebook started, you only had a Facebook personal page. And don't forget, with Facebook, you are allowed only one personal account, but you can have as many business pages running from your personal account as you want. So once Google Plus was up and running and they had lots of subscribers and they were able to iron out any of the niggles in the platform, they then launched Google Plus for Business. And basically, in the same way that you created a business page on Facebook, they wanted you to go and create a business page on Google Plus. Their hope was that every business would create a Google Plus business page, because then, in the same way that you interact with business pages on Facebook by clicking like or leaving messages on their wall, Google wants consumers to do the same with their Google Plus business pages. Now, the concept is great if you think how powerful Google Places already is. I mean, you can be anywhere in the UK or the world, and Google would still provide you with geo-targeted results based on your location, as we've already seen when we were looking earlier with these plumber results. It already can detect where you are. So Google Places is already a powerful unit on its own. Now, can you imagine if when you get those results, Google was able to tell you what your friends and family thought about that particular restaurant or that particular plumber? In the same way that on Facebook you can like a business, Google wants you to +1 a business page or leave a review. For instance, if you mouse over these, you'll see the +1 sign. If I click +1, I would be recommending City Plumbing Supplies. If I +1 this, I'd be recommending Binance Plumbing and Heating. So Google wants us to interact and share our knowledge with our friends or family and other people by clicking the +1s and leaving reviews. I mean, you can even come over here and +1 a Google AdWords. Even these are available for +1s. This is your vote of approval for that business, your personal recommendations. And all of this sounds great, and if it was working, it would be great for you as a local business, because you could move up the rankings because of your popularity with all these +1s and the reviews coming back to your site. Unfortunately, Google has hit a snag, because although the take-up of Google Plus has been fast, in their eyes it has not been fast enough. For instance, in December last year, the Los Angeles Times reported that Google was on target to have 400 million users by the end of 2012. And if you think about that, that's an enormous figure. Until you remember that Facebook has well over 900 million, more than twice as many, and Facebook is still growing. And when you consider that the main reason behind Google Plus is to actually take on Facebook, then you quickly realise that Google has an uphill struggle. Because another stat is the present figures show us that the average Google Plus user spends about 3 to 5 minutes on Google Plus per month, whereas the average Facebook user spends an average of 7 hours per month on Facebook. So Google wants to encourage consumers to join Google Plus, and one of the ways it is generating users is through you as a local business, and we'll cover what that means as we go on. The first thing to note is that nothing has really changed as far as your Google Places account is concerned. You will still create a Google Places account in Google Places. You'll still optimize it in Google Places. You'll still verify your Google Places account. Everything is the same as it did before. You still go in there to do the updates, to edit, to respond to reviews, etc. Everything will be the same, because Google has made that very clear on its blog where it discusses all this. So at present, nothing has really happened other than they've cloned all the information that you have here in your Google Places, and what they've done, as you can see here, they've now taken that information and cloned it into your Google Plus account, your Google Plus local page. Because whether you like it or not, you now have a Google Plus local page, and that's where your Google Places will now show from now on. If I type in car tyres Swansea, I come down here, Phelps and Williams. So let's go and have a look at their Google. Now this in the past would have taken you to Google Places. Here's an interesting thing to note. If it actually shows you reviews, this is still Google Plus is going to take you to. Where there are no reviews at all, it will just tell you it's a Google Plus page. So you're going to go here, click on here, and this is what your account will now look like. You will be taken inside a Google Plus local page. Because I'm not signed in, it's just showing me the Google Places listing inside of Google Plus. And here's the interesting thing to note. If I want to write a review now, if I click on here to write a review, what Google is going to ask me to do is either sign into my Google Plus account, or if I haven't got an account, it will ask me to sign up. So let's go back. So you can no longer leave a review directly in Google Places. It can only be done through a Google Plus account. And this is forcing anybody that wants to leave reviews on your site to become a Google Plus member, which is exactly what Google wants. Up until now, your customers could go to your Google Places page where they were invited to leave a review, and this has all changed. In fact, we had it set up for this particular local business owner where the customers would receive a discount. I'll show you. So here, for example, with Phelps and Williams, they give each visitor £5 off if they'll simply put their name and email address in here, which is just an email captured going into an autoresponder system. And we had it set up that they receive this £5 discount for opting into their email list on the day of purchase, and 1 week after opting in, they would receive an email asking them to leave a review. And in the email, we had a link going directly to their Google Places page. They can no longer leave a review directly on that page anymore. For a start, as we've already seen, Google takes them to the Google Plus page. And when you arrive at the Google Plus page, you will see that they've taken all of the information from your old Google Places page and put it here in the Google Plus. And you can, as I've already been saying, you can only write a review if you're logged in. So if you don't have an account, you have to sign up before you can leave any reviews. Now, there's a general trend of thought that says Google sees this as another way of encouraging the take-up of Google Plus, which, it makes sense when you think that as local business owners, you should be actively looking for reviews to move you up the rankings on Google Places and to be seen as a great local business. So the fact that you should be actively trying to encourage people to leave reviews, Google now sees that as, well, we can use that as a way of getting these users to join in and become Google Plus members. And another important note here is that when Google migrated over all the information from Google Places to Google Plus, it also migrated all the previous reviews. As you can see here, these are the reviews that already existed. But there's an important difference that will come into play as and when people join Google Plus. If the reviews were posted without being logged into a Google Plus account, then Google will default it to what you see here, a Google user. And as Google migrates all this information over, you will be asked about your previous reviews that you created when you were logged into your Google Plus account. So let's just say, I'll show you what I mean. Let's say, for argument's sake, I was on here and I want to leave a review. So I would come up here, I want to write a review, and I know it's going to ask me to an account. So I'll just pause this while I log in. Okay, so I've logged into my account. Now, what I'm saying to you is, if I've left any reviews anywhere on the internet while I was logged into my Google Plus account, Google is now going to show me that when I go to write a review here. So if I click on write a review, first of all, it's going to give you a warning. And the warning is telling you, because this is why this is very important to Google. With Google Plus Local, all your reviews and associated photographs will be visible to everybody on the web under my name, Steve Brown. So everybody's going to know it's me, personally me, that's left that review. So it's my comments, my review, my opinion. And I am sharing anyone who views my profile on Google+. I'm also sharing it with anybody who does a search for place, and I've added them to my Google+ circles. Because when you create a Google+ account, unlike Facebook, where Facebook you end up with friends, and these friends can be anything from long distance cousins to acquaintances to very close friends, with Google+, you can actually group the people that you know. So you can have your family, very close friends, business acquaintances, business contacts, lots and lots of various circles, whatever you want to call them, however you want to create them. So you decide who you want to see in your Google Plus circles. So you decide who you want to see it. But when I leave a review, I am selecting who I want can see my review when they're also searching for a plumber, for car tyres, etc., when they're looking for a place. And also, anybody that comes here into Phelps and Williams, if I've left a review here, then obviously they can see my review as well. So when I leave this review, a lot of people within my circles, within my city, can see my opinion for that particular company. Now, the next thing it will do now is, because I've already left a review in the past, it's also bringing up, here's one I left here for another company. So it's saying, would you like this particular review still to be shown? Because if I tick the box, the answer is yes. If I untick it, it won't show it. It will actually remove that review. So if I click yes and show it, I can continue, and it's now going to show me what it's actually showing. So as you can see, my image, my name, when I actually reviewed it. So these reviews are very specific when it comes to using Google+. And this is going to be the real power behind Google+. And you're going to see in a minute why it's going to be so important to you as a local business. So I'm just going to come off that and ignore that for a second. So I could go in and leave a review, and Google's going to make sure that any previous reviews that I've left under Google+, I confirm whether I want them to show or not. And this is going to have a really, really big impact. And it is more powerful than any previous reviews, because you are not going to be able to fake any of these reviews. I want you to think about this. You know, we've all been in business long enough. In the past, you could create anonymous reviews, and you could either promote your business or you could attack your business with negative reviews. We've all seen it done. We've all seen these spammy reviews. With Google+, these local plus pages, these business, Google+ business pages, they can only be commented on if you have a Google Plus account, as we've already seen. And of course, with all of Google's algorithms and the data, they will know which are the fake accounts and they'll just remove them. And the general opinion is that these old reviews will have little impact on your rankings unless they are claimed. So what we're thinking is that Google is basically going to treat previous reviews as possibly maybe spammy and not give it as much weight as it will do to the reviews that are done with a Google Plus account, where it knows it can check that the person exists, it can check the IP address, and it can check the account is alive and that somebody's actually using it. So if the person who created the review doesn't have a Google Plus account or doesn't create one in the future, these particular reviews that we're already seeing will remain listed as a Google user. And we think that, because Google can't verify them, it will just lower the value of those particular types of review. And the other thing that Google did when it was planning on implementing Google Plus Local was it purchased a review site called Zagat. Now we understand why Google purchased Zagat, because Zagat is a global review site which actually concentrated on restaurants and did restaurant reviews. But what Google wanted was the trust factor and their rating system. Because under the old system, if you submitted a review, you would be asked to rate it out of 5. If you remember, we had the 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, and a maximum 5-star rating. So all of that is now changed. And in fact, if you look here, they have the scoring guide. So if you click on the scoring guide, this is Zagat's scoring guide. And basically, they list it up to a maximum of 3. So what they did was, if you had 5 stars before, then that would transfer over and be a 3 out of 3 under the Zagat system. And when you have, what the Zagat system does is, at the moment you can see there isn't no score here yet. So in other words, each of these reviews, that must have been a 5 out of 5, so that's come over and they've given it 3 out of 3 under the Zagat system. That must have been about a 4 out of 5, that's why it's got a 2 out of 3. 3 out of 3, so that must have been a 5-star rating. So when it's transferred it over, it's transferred the 6 reviews over, but that isn't enough to give it what they call the Zagat score, which are these figures here. Because once there's enough reviews in there, the Zagat system basically averages out the number of scores that you've had, divide it, very roughly, divide it by the number of users, and gives you an average score. So you would have a score appear out of 30. Anything from 26 to 30 would be excellent. Anything in the 20s is everything from very good to extraordinary. So obviously you're looking for anything above 20 as your average score from your reviewers. And I want to stay on this topic of reviews because you really need to understand how powerful these are going to become for your business. Because up until now, one of the major ways that Google sorted out who's the most popular websites, who should they show, who should be at the top of the ranking, the way it did it was backlinks. Now a backlink is where someone has a link on their website and it links across to your website. And as far as Google was concerned, that was a vote for your website. So for instance, if you had your business listed on 10 different directories, let's say you were on Yale, Thompson, Free Index and all these different directories, if you had 10 listings on there and each one allowed you to put your website address on there, you would have had 10 links coming back from those websites back to your website, 10 votes. But Google had a hard time policing this because, quite frankly, there are websites all over the internet where you can go and place these backlinks yourself. So you can give Google the impression that you're one of the most popular sites in your area because you've got all these votes, all these backlinks coming back to your website. Now with Google Plus, with the Google Plus local business pages, you must have a Google Plus account. So you, the individual are responsible for posting the review, as we saw before. When I went to create, write this review, Google is automatically showing me it's me. I am the person responsible for leaving that review from my Google Plus private account, from my personal account. So it's you, the actual user, me, Steve Brown, who's actually providing that vote, and in effect providing a link from my personal profile to this Google Plus business page, Phelps and Williams. And Google, quite simply, can police this that much better, because it will know these are real profiles. It will know that's a real me. It will check on my Google Plus account to make sure it's active, that I'm in there, at least once a month or something, and actually putting something in, doing something. So it will know that my review is a real review. Very easy way for it to police it. It can just police everything so much better. So these reviews will be more powerful than ever and play a significant part in getting your business ranked on Google. In fact, for local businesses, the best way to describe it is reviews are the new SEO, the new search engine optimization. It's going to be the new way to get yourself ranked high. And everyone, please understand this. If you want to be a winner on this new playing field, then you need to get your customers to become fans of your business so that they spread the word about your business with their reviews. And at the same time, they're bumping you up the search engines. Because remember, two things are happening here when they leave a review. Because as we've already seen, when it came up with this statement before, it's already been seen by lots of other people. So when you can get somebody who's visited your business and is happy with your goods or service, if you can get them to leave a review, it's been seen by whichever circles they shared it with, so that can be their family, their friends, etc. It can be anybody that looks at their particular profile one day, and it can be anybody that comes onto your page and actually sees the list of reviews. And as we've already said, it's another vote for your business. And don't forget that as more and more people join Google Plus, you will link to them in the same way that you do with your Facebook friends. And the big difference with the Google Plus is that on Google Plus, as I said before, you can segregate these into different circles. So you can have a circle of, of close friends, of business acquaintances and so forth. So this is all going to be very powerful stuff, and it will grow. But the simple fact of the matter is that every time you post a review, others are going to see it and they're going to spread the word about your business. And Google will trust these reviews more than ever before because they know it's tied to these individual accounts. Yes, I'm sure that people will try to game the system, by creating false Google Plus accounts with dummy images of people. But, Google's going to find them out so easy because, quite frankly, they can set the account up, they can place the review, but there'll just be no activity in those accounts. So Google will literally default on those reviews and ignore them. It won't count it as part of its ranking system. And the simple fact of the matter for local business owners is that the new search engine optimization for local search will be driven heavily by reviews. So it's important that you take action now and get a jump start on your competitors. Now, does all of this mean that reviews on other sites such as Yelp and Thomson Local are worthless? Well, actually what Google has done is it does include the other reviews if you look hard enough. Because let me find a company that's got them on. Bear with me a sec. So here I am in another Google Plus business page for a company called Slaughter and May, solicitors down in London. If we come down here, we'll see, same as before, the reviews have been transferred over, and you can see, still saying the same, a Google user. But if we come to the bottom here, if you look carefully enough, it will say reviews from around the web, and you'll see things like legalweek.com, so they've had 12 reviews in there, Inside Buzz, and things like Yelp and Yell and all the rest of them, they'll be listed down here. So they'll still list the other reviews, But how much weight we'll give them, I don't know, because, as I've said before, what it's really going to trust is its own Google Plus reviews, because it will know they're from bona fide people, from real accounts. And talking about powerful reviews, many people believe that Google may be developing a review algorithm very similar to Yelp. And what we mean by that is it may mean that eventually registered users who regularly leave reviews, they may have a bigger impact on your ranking factor. On review sites, such as Yelp, these are known as power reviewers, whose opinions carry a lot of weight. And another thought is that if a particular user has a large number of friends or a large circle, then maybe their reviews would have a larger impact on ranking. We're waiting to see how all this pans out, but these are some of the thoughts. If you had a review, if you were a restaurant and you had a review of one of the celebrities off TV, one of the well-known people that are always doing the chef-type programs, you would expect that person's opinion to carry a lot more weight than a man in the street. So we're waiting to see how Google goes with this, but we're talking about these power reviewers and we're expecting to see things like that happen at some time in the future. Think about it from a business point of view. We talk about centres of influence. Well, these people who review regularly could be Google's centre of influence when it comes to reviewing. And, one positive review of them could be worth their weight in gold. When you are in Google Plus Local, when you're on this business page, you will notice that Google presents you with the option to search within this page. And it's a two-box search. So you can literally type in here, Swansea. So by default, Swansea, United Kingdom. Ask it to do a search. And Google goes off and presents me with a list of recommended places in Swansea. Recommended hotels, pubs, takeaways, Indian restaurants, bed and breakfast, coffee shops, guest houses. You can see the Swansea Grand Theatre. You can see it's already, because it's already got a lot of reviews, they've already been able to give it a score. So Swansea Grand Theatre has a good score because it's in the 20s. So it's obviously considered very good to excellent. This is how the Zagat system works. But what I'm showing you here is that within the Google Places business pages, you can do a search for, I could type in here, London, if I was planning to go to London on a trip. And Google would go off, and again, it will come back and show me a list of recommended places. Now, what we don't know at the moment is where it's pulling this data from, why these are actually being pulled up as the number ones. But again, long term, we're thinking that maybe with the power reviewers, etc., maybe that's what will start dictating what shows up as the popular places for any particular city. And another change which we think which Google did and we think is a huge mistake. If I go back to the original listing, what you'll notice is when it's pulled Google Places across, cloned it and put it here in your Google Plus local business page, one of the things that's missing, the photographs are here, but where's the videos? And we think Google has dropped a big clanger here and may have to review how it gets around this. The problem is that a business cannot own a video on YouTube. If you remember, all of your videos that showed on your Google Places page were all from your YouTube channel, from your YouTube listings. But a business is not allowed to own a YouTube video. So now that Google has created these Google Plus business pages, it cannot use the videos that you had previously showing on your Google Places page. Now, before you say, hang on, we created these channels in the name of our business, so how did YouTube let us do it before? Well, actually, you didn't. What you did was you created a personal channel, and all you did was give it a username, and the username was the name of your business. It was still a personal channel, because if you go onto YouTube and actually have a look at videos, and have a look at all the categories, there is no business category. It's all about education, funny stuff, etc. There is no business category. However, because Google Plus has now created these business pages, it has to assume that any previous videos associated with it were actually business videos, and therefore it's actually removed them from the Google Plus page. Now, the funny thing is, you can actually still log into your Google Places listing, where you do your editing, and you can still actually add videos, and the videos are still there. It's just that they're not going to show up here on this Google Plus business page, and this is what your customers see from now on. And what has happened is that Google has taken all the information from your Google Places and migrated it across to this Google Plus local business page, and this is the page your customers and clients are going to see from now on. And that's why they're just not going to see these videos. The other thing to note is that now that Google has migrated everything across to Google Plus, to this Google Plus local, you will need to claim your page. If you look down here, you will see, is this your business? Manage this page. And in the same way that you did before, you will see here when you say edit business details, that will take you to your Google Places listing. If I click on that, it actually takes me onto the Google Places listing, and you do all your changes as you did before. Now you'll notice, even though this has been verified, because it's now moved it into Google Plus local, you're going to have to verify your business all over again. So when you say manage this page, is this your business? You will have to go through the, sending the postcard out and claiming the business, or having a text message sent to your phone number to verify it all again. One of the things that happened as well is when Google migrated all this stuff over from your Google Places listing, you might find that your photos have been mixed up compared to the way they were before. But you can go in, once you've claimed your business page and you've done all this, you'll be able to go in and edit and change this over to get it exactly the way that you want. It'll be something that you can do easily, and you can add on more photos, etc. So just have a look to see what your Google Plus page already looks like. Then go in, claim it, and make the necessary changes. If you haven't already created a Google Places page, it really, really, really is important for any local business now to be on Google Places. You've already seen, when we type in, if I go here onto the home, if I type in solicitor, I'm just trying to give you different examples. The moment I type it in, it knows where I am. It's already bringing up this pack of 7. So if you're not on Google Places, you have no chance of competing. And this is the majority of the page. If you look at how much real estate it takes up, this is the biggest single factor on the page now. This is what Google wants you as a user, as a consumer, to use. This is why if you look how powerful it is, it gives you links to the website, it gives you the business name, the address, the telephone number, shows you on a map. It's all the information is there. So as a local user, this is what you're going to use. And it's just going to get more and more powerful when you start seeing all the reviews that are on the bottom here. As Google starts adding these reviews on, they become more powerful. So please, 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 if you do not have a Google Places page, please make sure you've got one now. So if you are beginning to understand the importance of the reviews, how are you as a business owner going to get them? Well, as I showed you before, one simple method that does very well for our clients is this thing, £5 off voucher. In fact, I'll tell you what actually happens here is what they will do is somebody can go into that garage to have a tyre change, some brakes done, a new exhaust fitted, whatever. They'll ask them if they've been online and opted in. If they haven't opted in and put their name and email address here, they will literally turn the computer screen round to them and say, well, if you put your name and email address in there now, we'll give you £5 off straight away. It's as simple as that. And the customer thinks, well, I'm saving £5 for a name and email address. And when they get home a week later, very quickly afterwards, didn't want to do it with, too soon, but, we're experimenting with this. But 7 days later, an automatic email goes out asking them if they would like to, asking them could they be kind enough to leave some kind of feedback, some kind of review, so that we as a business know how we're performing. And I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to capture people's names and email addresses. Whenever a visitor lands on your website, on your Facebook pages, or anything else you have online, you should be trying to capture their email address so that you can market to them. If you take this, particular business, we were able to send emails out about a special winter service check they were doing. We're changing it over to a spring and a summer check now. You can market to them. It's so important to capture name and email addresses. So you have a look at this, this simple example. What they really achieve for that name and email address? Well, first of all, the customer is even happier because now he or she has just saved £5. The customer is now in the email database, so this company can market to them whenever they want. The first email out there can be asking them for a testimonial, so we can get a review back to our site, which bumps us back, up the rankings as we get more and more reviews. These will have an effect on your rankings. You'll get higher up the rankings, which brings more visitors to your site, more visitors to your company, and it becomes an ever-increasing snowball, which can snowball into a lot of business. And I want to emphasize how simple this is, because that email that they get out in 7 days' time, all it actually says is, "Hi, we just wanted to take a moment and thank you for your recent visit to Phelps & Williams. As a business, we are always seeking feedback as to how well we are doing, so we'd be grateful if you could spare just 2 minutes to leave a comment or two. Click here and you will be taken to our Google Plus business page. Click on write a review and it should only take you a couple of minutes. Your feedback helps us tremendously, so we thank you in advance for taking your time. Regards, Carl and Andrew of Phelps & Williams." How simple is that? But I want you to think of this long-term marketing power. An email database that you can be contacting. I mean, this particular company, they could be offering them MOTs, they could be offering them car servicing, they could be letting them know they're doing a special deal on special tyres, all the good stuff that you can do with email marketing. But more importantly, right now on Google Plus local pages, you can get them back to give you that review, which is so, so powerful. And I keep emphasising, remember what I said, these reviews are seen by anyone who looks at your profile, anyone who's searching for places and you've got them in your circle, anyone who views places that you've actually viewed yourself. So simply getting 5 people to leave a review, just think of all the possible connections of their friends, of their circles, and how many people are now going to see your business. And then when they leave a review, how many profile links are linking back to your business, pushing up the rankings? Another technique you could use, you could simply post on Facebook that you would welcome reviews, and on your Facebook account, just put a link straight to your Google Plus business page. Now, I want to wrap this up by saying, Google has increased the importance of Google Places. It did it back in the autumn of 2011. It really wanted to put a lot of emphasis on Google Places and the Google Places listings, that pack of 7. And we've already seen, if I go on homepage here and I just type in accountant, whatever I type in, I don't even have to put Swansea in. It knows where I am. Google is building out its Google Places. This is going to be the most important 7 places as far as you're concerned as a local business. And you want to get in this pack of 7 to have any chance of your business receiving the phone calls, receiving the extra customers or clients to your particular business. And the way to do that is push ourselves up the rankings. So by going onto Facebook and getting links from there, asking the people to leave reviews, by doing the emails we say and asking people to do reviews, you can see that Google wants to help your potential customers find the best places. And don't forget, you and I are also users. We're also customers. And we seek out the best places where we want to eat or go to the dentist or buy some decking for the garden. It's now moved to, Google has now moved a step closer to achieving its end goal by creating these Google Plus local business pages. These new business pages, which now incorporate, your old Google Places listing, they're going to encourage consumers to interact with your business because you need them to interact if you want to stay ahead of your competition. Their reviews will become an important part of your business, because they're going to help spread the word. They're going to spread your business through their circle of friends, through their Google Plus accounts. And this will then in turn improve your rankings because their Google profile is now linked to your business. I really do hope you understand the power of this, and it's our intention to keep you updated as more and more information comes out on what is a new exciting prospect for you as a local business owner. Thank you.